YouTube, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build an underground bunker type thing. I mean, you could really build it anywhere, but it works best in like a in or underground type area. I mean, as you can see, I just spawned in here. If you guys want me to do a video on anything like this, like big builds like this, and like make parts on it, I could always show you how to do that. But for now, we're gonna do this because I haven't made a Minecraft video in a while, so I thought, why not do this now? Because that's probably the best time for it, since I haven't gotten one out. So let's find a decent spot far away from over here, since I'm going to be making that a hell of a lot bigger than it already is. Okay, let's go over here, because, I mean, this build is kind of going to be an area where you could do this underground in the side of a mountain, really anywhere. This would work best kind of behind a waterfall or behind a kind of area that no one's gonna notice or go into. I'll show you what it'll look like, and then you can kind of decide in the end how you would want to change it up and make it your own to hide it. And basically this underground bunker is going to be kind of like just an explosive proof area that you can hide in case you have where you can hide all your valuables and your stuff in case maybe you have a lobby. This works for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, but I didn't bother putting PC in the title because this is mainly a console build, so I'm not 100% sure if this can be done on PC, even though I'm pretty sure PC has all the same materials that I'll be using for this build. But anyway, you want to kind of clear out a space like this. You can even like make it look nicer if you want and kind of clean it up a little bit, like I did there. So then you kind of want to just make a big wide open doorway here, and you want to, and don't worry, I know right now it looks so obvious, but in the end it's going to be pretty well hidden. And you could hide these areas in whatever way you want. Like I said, you could add a waterfall coming down and hide it behind the waterfall. This could be a secret room inside of another building, and you could put a painting over it. Or you could do a painting and then like a shifter on the inside of the painting, like one of those shifts or levers, and you could put it on the inside and have it open up, so if someone does manage to find that they can go into the painting, they're not going to notice as easily that there is something there. There's just so many things you can do. Now I'm just going to do like a small scale type thing here, because I don't want to make this a really long video, because I want this to be kind of a decently length video, and not like, you know, long enough where you can I want it to be long enough where you can see what I'm doing, but not long enough to the point where you get bored of the video and want to exit out of it, because I want everyone to know what they're doing. So basically, as you can see, I have this 1, 2, 3 here, 2 for the doorway, and then another 3 here. And basically then over here, so far I have it 1, 2, 3, 4, so we're gonna go 5, 6, 7, 8, and then we're gonna quickly open all of this up. And then after you get this first part opened, then you wanna kinda just remove this spot here and then the ceiling, so you have room for the next part that we're gonna do, which I'll get into in a second here. Okay, so then you wanna, I mean, we'll we'll just put this here for now, just because we're probably going to. Actually, no, we don't need that for. Actually, hold on. Yeah, we might need that because yeah, this is like this. So we'll just leave that like that for now. But yeah. So then, as you can see, we have it 1, 2, 3. So we're gonna need a 4th spot here. And you can, like I said, make this any way you want, because I mean it really depends on the location you are, or, like, you know, where the location that you're in, to really make this hidden so no one knows where it is. Because like maybe you're in a forest biome and you want it to be underground, or maybe you are where I am, kind of like near an ocean on the side of a cliff. Because you want your build to be in a spot where very few people are going to go, so then if it is found out, then no one's going to really care. And also, just in general, if it's in this spot, since barely anyone's going to come over here because it's like in this area, once we like hide it, because it's not going to be as obvious as this when we're done, you'll be able to keep people out. So now we've got this done. Okay, so for the next part, if you're in survival, you're probably going to want to use obsidian, because obsidian is the only survival thing that you can grab, like, you know, survival block that is explosive proof. But if you're in creative, then you're going to want to use, most likely, where is it? Hold on. Gotta find the bedrock real quick. I always get these things mixed up. There we go. But anyway, you're going to want to coat the entire room in bedrock. And like I said, this is just going to be kind of a small build because I don't want to make the video too long. And you're just going to want to coat the entire room in, if you're in survival, like I said, obsidian. But if you're in creative, you're going to want to use this most likely. And then you're just going to want to continue to do as I'm doing. Just make sure everything is completely covered, so then if someone was to use explosives in this area, everything would be safe. And then you're gonna want to just real quickly do this. I mean, if you don't want your room to literally have the look of obsidian or bedrock, you can make the room a bit deeper or bigger or wider or whatever you want, so this way you have room on the inside for like another type of wall, because maybe you don't want the whole room to look like bedrock. If you want to do that, that is perfectly fine. I'm just, like I said, trying to make this a very quick video for you guys. So even though this may look a little ugly, like I said, you can customize it however you want with just a little bit extra material. So now that we've pretty much got this whole thing covered up, then you're going to want to, as soon as you kind of got the whole thing fixed and finished, like I have mine now, then you're going to want to kind of figure out what door you want. You could make a piston door and kind of make it complicated, but I'm not going to keep repeating myself on that. As you know, I'm trying to make the video less as long, so we're just going to use these. So just keep that in mind when I'm making things look a little bit like, you know, like they're not complete or not done correctly. It's because I'm trying to make the video shorter. So then you can have these here like this, and it's kind of like an entrance, but you could make it so these are more complicated and no one else can get in. And then I'll show you a few hiding methods. But actually, first, before I do that, before I show you how to properly hide your structure, like, yeah, as you can see, there's plenty of room in here, so you could put, I don't know, you could put a couple of chests right here and hide some diamonds in them. You could make this your underground base and kind of hide away from people so they can't find you. But anyway, here are some different ways to hide your place. If it's on the wall like this, you can kind of just cover it in paintings. If you have a smaller door, you can just like completely cover it with just one painting. If you have like a 1x2 door, like if it was like this. But like, you know, most likely if it's this kind of door, you're not going to want to use a lot of paintings because it definitely does look suspicious like this. Especially if you're going to be using levers, so this is not the best hiding spot for this kind of build, but this would be great if you had like a one-room door. But anyway, now I'm going to show you, or a one-door room I meant. Anyway, I'll show you how to properly hide it in this situation. For this kind of situation, you're going to want to get a water bucket, and just because as you can see, this kind of looks like the perfect place for a waterfall. You've got this whole open lake that leads out into the ocean over there. You got mountains, and it looks like the perfect place for a waterfall. So when you do this, people will just think that you're trying to make things look nice, and you could even kind of like make this deeper in so people can't see the entrance through the waterfall. And that's probably the best idea, because as you can see, you can kind of still see it through the waterfall, so you may want to make sure you put this a tad deeper into it. And also, as you can see, I didn't put it deep enough, so because of that I lost my levers. So that's because I kind of rushed through that part. But as you can see, for the most part, it does hide it away. You're going to, like I said, need to push it just a bit further in so people can't see the doors, and maybe even do something else. But other ways that you can hide it, like for example, maybe you have like a space like this, and like, what do you know, there's already a hole here for my example. So as you can see, we have a hole here. Let's pretend that this went all the way down in there like that, and that there was a whole room down there. And maybe you have, I don't know, a door on top of it, and you're trying to make it look as inconspicuous as possible. But when people see a door like this, obviously they're going to wonder what's down there, and they're going to look. A couple ways you could hide this are, number one, if you decide to make your base like this, you could cover it up like this. Hold on, close that back up. And you could just kind of like make it look like a big hill or mountain and kind of blend it in with the surroundings. Like, obviously I'm not gonna go nuts with it here, but I mean, like, you know, you can kind of like add to this little hillside here and make it look a tad bit more natural, and you can make it, I don't know, just make it look like it was already here. And then every single time you want to go down into it, you can just dig it back up temporarily and then rebury it. That is kind of a tedious thing to do, so that's why it pays to have an actual hidden entrance. So there are many different ways to do this. Or another way for this kind of entrance is, as you can see, we have a 2 spot here, so I could just do this, and then there would be that extra spot there, and we could just bury this. Because originally this was all like up here like this, so then you could just re-add all this stuff, but just do it with dirt, so it's like really easy access. And then see, now this looks exactly like it did before. And then every single time you want to come in, just go like this, and then place it back, and it's really quick, and you don't need to worry about anything. And it looks like it was here all along, and that nothing was changed. Although you may want to make sure they're dirt blocks and not grass blocks, because this looks suspicious like this, but that's only because I'm in creative right now, so yeah. And that's pretty much it for different ways you can hide it. I mean, if you don't want your base to be explosive proof and you're just trying to make a hidden base, you could really use any materials you want. But this is just basically a way to make it explosive proof, so then maybe if someone's blowing a big hole in this mountain, and they all of a sudden find your base, at the very least, it is explosive proof, so when they're blowing up the mountain, nothing gets lost. And when they finally find it, they're gonna have a hard time getting in as long as you fortify it very well. And we all know that most Minecraft players these days, especially the new Minecraft players, go nuts with TNT and they'll blow up everything, so no offense to the new Minecraft players, but it's just inevitable. You find a new Minecraft player and they're all over the place with the TNT because they just love seeing those explosions. So that's pretty much it, and I know that this wasn't like the most in-depth detail kind of thing. If you want me to make another video on this showing you how to properly decorate it, I could always do that. So that's pretty much it. Like, subscribe, comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video.